viewer, welcome to Multimedia Plus Online Television and welcome to another edition of our broadcast. Top stories in this edition. Sierra Leone's government makes a 30% increase on teachers' salaries across the country. FRACAS erupts at the FREETOWN Male Correctional Center, leaving 7 dead and many others wounded. Residents of East Brooklyn raise concern over the lack of basic necessities in their community. And a non-governmental organization, Being Human, donates face masks and other medical items to the King Hamman Road Government Hospital. All of these stories and more are all lined up in today's news broadcast. I am your host, Lucy Emanet Aliu. And now for the news and details. Teachers across Sierra Leone have seen an increase of 30% in their monthly salaries. The decision came following a Ministry of Finance budget hearing at the Well of Parliament in 2019. Our reporter, Anthony Vandi, picks up the story and filed in this report.
In a 20 budget hearing in the Well of Parliament, the government of Sierra Leone, through the Ministry of Finance, promised to make a 30% increment on the salaries of government teachers that are on payroll. The said promise has recently been fulfilled. But what do teachers make of this move at this time when the country is battling with corona pandemic? Mohamed Saliu Bangora is the president of Sierra Leone Teachers Union.
I think we made the move as a union. We requested for an increase in the salaries of teachers and the improvements of the conditions of service for teachers. And so in that respect, the former Minister of Basic Education, Mr. Alpha Timbo, assisted us to convene the Teaching Service Trade Group Negotiating Council. And this is the legal body that is mandated with the negotiations of conditions of service for teachers. On that council, we have 12 members, we as the teachers, and the government has 12 members. So 24 members in all make up the council. And so we made a representation to government. We presented a package for the increase in salaries of teachers and the improvement of conditions of service. And the negotiations went on for quite a very long time. And finally, before even His Excellency pronounced the 30%, we were called to be informed that the government was going to give 30%. And we, as a responsible union, we knew that was not enough, and that was not what we asked for. We had asked for something higher than that. But take what you get until you get what you want. I think that's what we did. And for now that the 30% has come at this point in time, we do really appreciate it, and we want to say thanks to the government for doing it, because when you ask for what is givable, and when you do what is doable.
Desmond Bremer is the acting principal of the Richard Allen High School. He said that the government has implemented most of the things promised to the schools.
Those promises made, lots and lots have been done regarding implementation of those promises made. For instance, since 2018-2019 academic year, of course, all payment of school fees, that one was affected right across the country. Supply of learning materials, that too was affected right across the country. Then even books, materials, those LPM, all of those things we are affected right across the country. Payment of subsidy, that too was done right across the country for the 2018-19 academic year. It started fine, and we hope it will continue. The only snag now is regarding this academic year. Well, first term, second term, subsidies were paid for first term to some schools. Some of that could not get, including my own school. JSS could not access subsidy for first term.
He, however, said the government should look into other areas like auxiliary staff of teachers who work in the school, and also to consider teachers who are not on PIN codes. Reporting for Multimedia Plus Online Television, I am Anthony Vandi.
There has been a major fracas at the FREETOWN Male Correctional Center in FREETOWN. On the morning of Wednesday, 29th April, a mysterious fire broke out in the prison's facility, which resulted to the death of 7 and some others badly wounded. The incident came following a press release from the Ministry of Information and Communications that one of the inmates had contacted the coronavirus. This report was sent in by our reporter Anthony Vandi and voiced in our studios by Fatmata Jallo.
Around 8:30 a.m. on Wednesday, 29th April, a mysterious inferno was seen kindling at the Pademba Road Male Correctional Center in FREETOWN. Plumes of smoke from the facility forged the entire Pademba Road and its immediate environs. Officials at the prison say a certain set of mischievous inmates had lit the fire. A few of the prison's officials who were on duty that morning were wounded in the fracas. Superintendent Sure is one of the prison officials.
I doing it where the process where they make the confusion inside and then I won't show. Now jailman stabbed me. Go to the workshop, the carpentry workshop inside the tools all day. I didn't get weapon for take damage person.
Okay, so you're not the only person with damage?
What to me one who?
A couple of unamos.
I see beaucoup people were injured. I see one officer will die.
Okay, well,
Approximately 3 days ago, a press release from the Ministry of Information and Communications was issued, informing the public that one of the inmates at the correctional center had contacted the coronavirus. This left several tongues waggling about the fragility of protective measures against the virus at the prisons. Mohamed Raman Sware is Sierra Leone's Minister of Information and Communications.
Riot has led to the destruction of some very, very, very monumental edifices. You're talking about the reception here, you're talking about the kitchen, you're talking about the record section, you're talking about a whole cell gone, and quite fundamental destructions done to the prison. We have to be thankful to the security forces who immediately came in to prevent what would have been the most historic prison riot of our time. But I'm pleased to say, according to early reports, no prisoner escaped, and that no high-stake high-stake prisoners are all intact. Okay? The Sierra Leone Fire Force is working very hard to suppress the fire, to extinguish it, and they are almost successful at doing that. I'd like to use this opportunity to appeal to Sierra Leoneans to go about their respective businesses. The security sector is on top of the situation, and things should go back to normal. Government will issue a more comprehensive statement later in the day. At this stage, this is the situation. We have been able to contain the situation. The prison riot has been suppressed. Some fundamental damage has been done to some very historic structures, which is regrettable, quite unfortunate. And the prisons hosted high-stake prisoners remain intact.
The scuffle at the correctional center coincidentally occurred on the day a presidential pardon was to be given to a few inmates. But with this sudden development, it is highly unlikely any of the inmates will be pardoned this year. The FREETOWN Male Correctional Center shelters about 1,000 inmates. This shocking incident left 1 prison officer dead, and 7 prisoners dead, and several inmates wounded at the time of this report. This has left most members of the public wondering about the safety and intensity of security at the Pademba Road prisons. For Multimedia Plus Online Television, I am Fatmata Binta Jallo.
Be reminded that you're viewing content from the Multimedia Plus Online Television. Residents of East Brook Lane community in FREETOWN have raised concern about the lack of basic necessities in their community. For several years now, residents of the community say they have gone without adequate water supply, improper drainage and disposal facilities, among a long list of others. Our reporter, Audrey Sano, visited the community and filed in this report.
East Brook community is one of those communities that has been faced with lots of challenges, among which is the lack of basic social amenities. Memunatu Bangura, a resident within the community, speaks about how the lack of dumping site is affecting their health.
I don't say it affects me. I only talk for the doctor. people in there talk serious, talk to me, they go swim, mama. They want me to now, they stop it, they don't see them, but the place all on crack, go to them, go careful, they don't see them. If we talk now, the big one in the command, they call swim, they sound like the community, then they get placed, they'll be like, I'll get placed, they get placed now. And by the people in there, not so we know more, they don't see, they suffocate now. I will not get right for the talk for the don't see. You want the government can put on, the government can put on the don't see. Go back with the suffer and then so they still mosquitoes that affect me. You begin and they sick. And we they complain about cool, don't talk and say, don't go to the station, don't make report. But we need to know actually the big one in the make now. They want to say, one people over there, but no pastor will go out waiting and they have half money there. And they take for me. And they don't wear anything, they don't see them bug, they go inside the rooms, they go to the water side there. They disturb the water flop, they jump the bridge, go inside the rooms there. As we begin for clean, they make some, you know, you understand. Pass go back the help me. And they can come together and push some dirty, some no dirty, they can go. We kind of a big water camp, the water put class on the dirty, they can go.
John Lahai, a community member, reiterated the need for swift intervention in their community and went on to state that they have been trying their best to help control the dirt, but to no avail.
But the season now, they don't take more people in the place, community. Yes. Even the mosquito there, owners come, mosquito there, more people there. Then we send back. Only with the smellers, the sends out. And that's back home at the same smell. So we need we don't go help you for stop letting us see our business. Maybe we can try. Or we can try. Then let's say now we will play and sleep. Then they can pack the experience. We don't see the because the time we not allow so normal. We put out they tell you say push up. The government will help you and start to help them. Then they will campaign to stop you to see business and because we know and stop you to see business. Even to the one that say put the street and there if they will pay permission for them, go then go together and they go town and say they don't see nobody can do it again.
Speaking to the Youth and Community Police Chairman Mohamed T. Bangura, he highlighted some of the measures taken so far to salvage the situation, which includes organizing community members to clean the gutter to maintain good health and hygiene.
More especially guys, because guys, we say we don't talk, we more than sickness, it's we don't get cyber which we use your team, and we can't carry your team. So tell them we can run after them, like couldn't really not so like you won't go, no keep going. So like guys, in our mosquitoes, like plenty now, you know, they talk, but we say in any listing. So we don't get reports and even all the journalists they can for inside we are for lead of citizens. Can still get reports and but up to this time we don't get no way for like at least we stop it. But lead of it affects you. So send they organize more than we give them cane at least they can snap now like we they can cancel. Actually they cancel they give you. But still we no able. Yes. Now like next more, yeah, next more like kids we don't say like that time so you know go easy for like see man camp for cancel don't say but net before they play me salon floor. On a show on that no the sell man go back. Now next more they do don't say. And now next more no go say but long left for sleep at least no can one after people only do don't see now.
They then call on governments to come to their aid as the present situation they are faced with is one that's so depressing, citing the numerous pleas they have made to various stakeholders but to no avail. Reporting for Multimedia Plus Online TV, I am Odra Nyambe Sano.
If you're just tuning in, the news is coming to you from Multimedia Plus Online Television. We will now go for a short break. Stay glued.
The package you forget. Even the haters testify, called the man when I was amateur. Couldn't holler them. I said this vicious fever, the Taliban. The game don't see.
The boy Caldenero, man. Live and direct, man, within our studio, man. You know what I mean? Kiss the Throne EP coming. I just kindly want to freestyle. Now, this is very good studio. The setup is good. Nice and Django. Shout out to Una. Proud of what Una they do. You know, we need more of this in the industry.
Hey, this is Emerson, the last man standing. Of course, we're right here at Multimedia Plus. And we had a great session, and come check it out. It's a great studio, you know, great sounds, great producer, and support your own saloon content. Sugar Entertainment at Multimedia Plus. Peace.
Welcome back to Multimedia Plus Online Television. A non-governmental organization, Being Human, has donated a face mask and other assorted medical items to the King Amman Road Government Hospital to aid in the fight against the novel coronavirus in Sierra Leone. Our reporter, Theresa Thomas, witnessed the donation and filed in this report.
Many organizations have been lending a helping hand to the medical facilities across the country in the fight against the novel coronavirus. And here today, at the King Amman Road Government Hospital, another set of donation has just been brought. Masire Sise is a member of Being Human Foundation.
We get a branch in America and also Canada. So basically they try to do just in our own way support. And support not just limited to just the less privileged, we take and say, and necessarily to involve the healthcare workers there. Few months or a month ago, we do a donation, we donate some food items then to the slums community them. So, and all of that, we just try to help, we don't need to wait for support the healthcare workers there, which involves the cleaner there, the doctors them, even sometimes the patients them as well. Because we basically think say patients and they are so we not able to get even enough for each for the day. So we got to feed some give out the small token when our 13 bags of rice and 400 face masks. We want for them to share them out to on ourselves and just see how we will start from there.
Responding to the gesture, the medical superintendent of King Amman Road Hospital, Dr. Sarah Conte, said the hospital is constrained with inadequate staff to run the facility.
Attend to other emergencies then, but mainly the King Amman business. Actively they work throughout this process of, let's say, because this process in this thing don't have people in shy before no, we are actively fully well know say patients then without we not get COVID, they are very, very much vulnerable as the one with COVID. So if we not step up and try for make the provision for accept all these patients, the facility, in their patients and they will suffer. Because we get example of what happened in the Ebola outbreak, where we get so many of them outside the Ebola. So that's the reason why, even though we are so constrained, very, very much constrained with human resource, like as it is now, we get one people Dr. Kamara day for the pediatric, then Dr. Wee, the chances of them then the day for the mommy then. So at facility, this facility forgets more doctors and following to attend to which we need, but we.
The King Amman Road Hospital largely cares for pregnant women and children under the age of 5. The facility has just been refurbished to an ultra-modern facility, but it seems there is much more left to be desired. Multimedia Plus Online Television, Theresa Thomas.
The Commercial Tricycle Riders Association has issued a press release instructing all its members to start using face masks as a means of curtailing the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. Our reporter, Odresano, reports.
As the fight against coronavirus intensifies, a press release was issued out by the Sierra Leone Tricycle Association demanding the reduction of 20% daily and or weekly payment to all individuals and or institutional owners of tricycles in the country. Speaking to Multimedia Plus Online TV, chairman of the Keke Riders said that measures were put in place before the issuing of the press release and that the Keke Riders are now encouraged to use face masks to prevent themselves from the coronavirus. He further stated that he will ensure the riders abide to the rules and regulations instituted by the government.
To the lot before, when they reduce this price to this amount that they get now, so Mrs. L really happy for that because today now they don't reduce 2 passengers, 1 passenger. for them. It will also hard for them that they're not able to get the money for pay that money they to the masters them, the 100,000. So riders then they can't be doing the grumble. Say now work more they done, they're not put 1% they are done. So now they're not able to work the money. Some riders and they don't take the machine and they hand them. So now that's the use it as a union for not be able to adjust to plead to the owners then. Let them go reduce the price now for the riders. Now we don't even make an auction sale to price alone. The NGO when at the Friday where we make that workshop day about 100 riders then we call them a workshop. When I open place we talk to them, we tell them about this corona is real, all that thing and let them take care of that thing. If that virus in the number don't leave the things, you will take up to 2 days.
Speaking to some keke riders within the capital city, they expressed dissatisfaction over the present trend of things in the country and that since the outbreak of the coronavirus, life has been extremely difficult and business is so bad, leaving them with no option but to run at a loss.
Someone are lost, but protection back there is fine. Prevention is better than cure. Let me suggest from the side of
Well, actually we welcome her because we no go deny because government after government because really not easy actually because when you look at the kind of pandemic right now within the one-on-one way with so many problems, a strategy where government put in place for make we break the chain of transmission. The passenger where we serve as a union, we know say not too normal and this was a normal time. So that day we serve say we adhere to what the government say, but actually not easy right now.
Keke riders, however, commended the measures put in place by the government through the Ministry of Health in encouraging them to use the face mask. For Multimedia Plus Online TV, I am Audra Nyambisano.
As we continue to take precautions to prevent the spread of the coronavirus, let's take some health advice on preventive ways of keeping ourselves safe. And that's all we have time for in today's news broadcast on Multimedia Plus Online Television. But before we close, here's a recap of the headlines. Sierra Leone's government makes a 30% increase on teachers' salaries across the country. FRACAS erupts at the FREETOWN Male Correctional Center, leaving 7 dead and many others wounded. Residents of East Brooklyn raise concern over the lack of basic necessities in their community. And a non-governmental organization, Being Human, donates face masks and other medical items to the King Hamman Road Government Hospital. That's how we draw down the curtains for today's broadcast. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Multimedia Plus Online Television for more updates, news broadcasts, programs, and interviews. We're also on Facebook at Multimedia Plus. Please visit, like, and share our page. Until we meet again next time, I have been your presenter, Lucy Emanet Aliu. Stay safe, stay blessed.